Hello students, I am Vishwanath. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to discuss about self-inductance, mutual inductance and the working principle of transformer. First, self-inductance. Let a coil is connected with a variable current or voltage source. Okay, this is a coil connected with a variable current source or voltage source. When the current passing through the coil, then a magnetic field is generated in this coil, and this coil behaves like a solenoid. You know that. Now, due to the variation of voltage or current with time, the magnetic field linked with the coil also changes. Due to the change of the linked magnetic field with the coil, another EMF is induced inside this coil. Okay. This induced EMF acts opposite to the input EMF or input voltage. This phenomena is known as self-inductance. Okay, this phenomena is known as self-inductance. Let phi be the linked magnetic flux with the coil and I be the current passing through this coil. Now you know that magnetic flux phi is directly proportional to the current I passing through the coil. Therefore, we can write phi is equal to L into I. Here, L stands for the coefficient of self-inductance. Coefficient of self-inductance. The unit of capital L is Henry. Unit of capital L is Henry. Now you know that the induced EMF epsilon is equal to minus d phi dt. Therefore, epsilon is equal to minus L di dt. This is the expression of induced EMF inside the coil. Now mutual inductance. Let two coils are well attached and they are insulated and they are well attached. Okay. First coil is connected with a variable source of EMF and EMF of this source is E1 and number of turns of the first coil is N1 and current passing through the first coil is I1. Now, some magnetic lines of force generated due to the flow of current in the first coil. Okay, and these magnetic lines of force also link with the second coil. But in the second coil is a closed circuit. It is attached with a load resistance RL and a galvanometer G. But in the second coil there is no source of current. Now, due to the variable EMF in the first coil, the current passing through the first coil also varies with time. That's why the linked magnetic flux with the second coil also varies with time. Therefore, an induced EMF is generated in the second coil. Therefore, through the second coil and through the RL load resistance or through the galvanometer, an induced current passes. This phenomena is known as mutual inductance. This phenomena is known as mutual inductance. Okay. Let phi 2 be the linked magnetic flux with the second coil. and I1 is the current passing through the first coil. Therefore, we can write that phi 2 is directly proportional to I1, or phi 2 is equal to capital M into I1. Here capital M is the proportionality constant. Capital M is known as coefficient of mutual inductance, and unit of capital M is also Henry. Now, induced EMF produced inside the second coil due to the change of phi 2, that is linked magnetic flux with the second coil, is epsilon 2 is equal to minus d phi 2 dt. Okay, epsilon 2 is equal to minus d phi 2 dt, or epsilon 2 is equal to minus capital M di1 dt. This phenomena is known as mutual inductance, and this is the expression of induced EMF produced in the second coil. Now I am going to discuss about the working principle of a transformer. Transformer follows the rules of mutual inductance. Let these two coils having turns N1 and N2 are attached with each other very closely, but they are insulated, and some laminated iron cores are placed between them. That's why the magnetic flux produced in the first coil will be more linked with the second coil. Okay, that means the coupling factor becomes 1. Here epsilon 1 and epsilon 2 are the EMF in the first coil and in the second coil. That epsilon 1 is the variable EMF produced in the first coil. Due to the change of magnetic flux linked with the second coil, which is generated by the passing of the current due to first coil, is changes with time. Okay, that is due to the variation of the EMF or current in the first coil, the magnetic flux linked with the second coil also changes. Due to this variation of the magnetic flux in the second coil, an induced EMF is produced in the second coil. This is known as epsilon 2. You know that the induced EMF is directly proportional to the number of turns of the coil. That's why we can write that epsilon 2 by epsilon 1 is equal to N2 by N1. Okay. Here N1 is the number of turns in the first coil and N2 is the number of turns in the second coil. When N2 is less than N1, that is number of turns in the second coil is less than the number of turns in the first coil, then the EMF produced in the load resistance, that is in the second coil, is less than the EMF in the input or first coil, input coil resistance or input source or in the first coil, that is epsilon 2 less than epsilon 1. This is known as step down transformer. By step down transformer, we can reduce the output EMF. Okay, it is done in mobile charger. Okay, in the input we get 220 volt, but in a mobile charger we need only 5 volt. That's why in a mobile charger a step down transformer works, which reduce the voltage. And when the N2 is greater than N1, that is the number of coils in the second number of turns in the second coil is greater than the first coil, then epsilon 2 is greater than epsilon 1. That means the output EMF is greater than the input EMF. This is known as step up transformer. Step up transformer. It is done in air conditioner. Okay. In air conditioner we need huge voltage, almost 1000 voltage, but we get 220 volt in the input circuit. That's why we need to increase the voltage. That's why we use step up transformer inside air conditioner. This is the working principle of a transformer. Now some energy is lost due to some reasons in the transformer. First, due to the eddy current. To reduce the loss in eddy current, we use laminated iron core. Okay. And second, the hysteresis loss. Due to the hysteresis effect of magnetism, some energy is lost inside the transformer. That's why we cannot get the same power in the output circuit which is given in the input circuit. You know that the power, if the power is constant, if the power is constant, then you know that EMF and current are inversely proportional. That's why we can also write the this relation becomes epsilon 2 by epsilon 1 is equal to n2 by n1 is equal to I1 by I2. That means when the voltage increases in the output circuit, then current decreases, and when the voltage reduced in the output circuit, then current increases in the output circuit. Okay, this is the working principle of a transformer. Thank you for watching my video, and in the next video I shall discuss about the self-inductance of solenoid, self-inductance of circular loop, and mutual inductance of two solenoids, and the relation between relation between self-inductance of two coils with their mutual inductance. And please wait for the next video, and have a nice day. Thanks again for watching my video.